The Rigveda, hymn 1.157, 6 verses. Agni is wakened, Surya riseth from the earth, mighty refulgent dawn hath shone with all her light. The Asthans have equipped their chariot for the course. God Savitar hath moved the folk in sundry ways. When Asthans ye equip your very mighty car, bedew ye twain our power with honey and with oil. To our devotion give victorious strength in war. May we win riches in heroes' strife for spoil. Nigh to us come the Asthans, lauded three-wheeled car, the car laden with meat and drawn by fleet-footed steeds, three-seated, opulent, bestowing all delight. May it bring weal to us, to cattle and to men. Bring hither nourishment for us, ye Asthans twain. Sprinkle us with your whip that drops with honey dew. Prolong our days of life. Wipe out our trespasses, destroy our foes. Be our companions and our friends. Ye store the germ of life in female creatures. Ye lay it up within all living beings. Ye have sent forth, O Asthans, passing mighty, the fire, the sovereigns of the wood, the waters. Leeches are ye with medicines to heal us, and charioteers are ye with skill in driving. Ye strong give sway to him who brings oblation, and with his heart pours out his gift before you. And it's very important to not deny the importance of both genders. And we see here something that, while the symbolism can very much be used, but the literal occurrence is not the case. And even the Bible, which, in Alexandria they knew better, and other places they knew better, but apparently not when they wrote the New Testament. The Quran talks about the time of the sunrise and the sunset and the multitude of horizons. So we know that, there's not the belief Islamically that the sun rises and sets, but it's a time that you use, because the times of the day and night are still the same importance. Well, I mean, people say, well, but all the lights, you don't even notice anymore. It's like, but as far as how nature works, in 158 Asans, 6 verses, Ye Vasus twain, ye Rudras full of counsel, grant us strong strengtheners when ye stand beside us. What wealth Autchatya craves of you, great helpers, when ye come forward with no niggard succor, who may give you aught, Vasus, for your favor, for what at the cow's place ye grant through worship. Wait for us, understanding full of riches, come with a heart that will fulfill our longing. As erst for Tugra's son, your car, sea crossing, strong was equipped and set amid the waters, so may I gain your shelter and protection, as with winged course a hero seeks his army. May this my praise preserve Uchatya's offspring. Let not these twain who fly with wings exhaust me, nor let the wood 10 times up piled consume me. When fixed for you, it bites the ground it stands on, the most eternal streams, wherein the dasas cast me, securely bound, have not devoured me. When Tratana would cleave my head asunder, the dasa wounded his own breast and shoulders. Dear Gautamas, the son of Amata, hath come to length of days in the 10th age of humankind. He is the Brahman of the waters. As they strive to reach their end and aim, their charioteer is he. And as you succeed in life, one should not be stingy with it. One should be even more grateful. And nowadays we wouldn't use that word for stingy because it sounds like something else, which has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Hymn 159, Heaven and Earth, 5 verses. I praise with sacrifices mighty heaven and earth at festivals, the wise, the strengtheners of law, who, having gods for progeny, conjoined with gods, through wonder-working wisdom, bring forth choicest boons, with invocations on the gracious Father's mind, and on the Mother's great inherent power I muse. Prolific parents, they have made the world of life, and for their brood, all round wide, immortality. These sons of yours, well skilled in work of wondrous power, brought forth to life the two great mothers, first of all, to keep the truth of all that stands and all that moves. Ye guard the station of your Son who knows no guile. They with surpassing skill most wise have measured out the twins united in their birth and in their home. They, the refulgent sages, weave within the sky, yea, in the depths of sea, a web forever new. This is today the goodliest gift of Savitar. This thought we have, when now the God is furthering us. On us with loving kindness, heaven and earth, bestow riches and various wealth and treasure hundredfold. And we can think of those alphabet myths and how some of this kind of sounds like it. And perhaps at some point, rather than just the arrangement of the chakras, or perhaps something I'm not familiar with, the Sanskrit alphabet was given these sorts of attributes, like these bija mantras were the father and the mother and the sons and the elementals and planetaries and all that sort of stuff that they kind of I don't know how it would play out, but hymn 160, Heaven and Earth, 5 verses. These, heaven and earth, bestow prosperity on all, sustainers of the region, holy ones and wise, 2 bowls of noble kind. Between these goddesses, a god, the fulgent sun, travels by fixed decree, widely capricious pair, mighty that never fail. The father and the mother keep all creatures safe. The 2 world halves, the spirited, the beautiful, because the Father hath clothed them in goodly forms. Son of these parents, he, the priest, with power to cleanse, sage, sanctifies the worlds with his surpassing power. Thereto for his bright milk he milked through all the days the partly colored cow and the prolific bull. Among the skillful gods most skillful is he, who made the 2 world halves, which bring prosperity to all, who with great wisdom measured both the regions out, and established them with pillars that shall ne'er decay. Extolled in song, O heaven and earth, bestow on us, ye mighty pair, great glory and high lordly sway, whereby we may extend ourselves ever over the folk, and send us strength that shall deserve the praise of men. And we think of, that Janus thing, the what do you call that general form? You got it, one on each side and one in the middle. But we have closer to the Gnostic way of thinking is that the sun is the knower, and of course we become the sons. Like in what you call the Old Testament, there's all this talk about sons of God and sons of demons and all that. And, there's more talk about the devil in what we call the New Testament, and I think that's where that comes from. Hymn 161, Rebus. 14 verses. Now, before I get into that, you know what I mean. The sun is the officiator. Or an individual that has taken on that role. Why hath the best? Why hath the youngest come to us? Upon what embassy comes he? What have we said? We have not blamed the chalice of illustrious birth. We, brother Agne, praised the goodness of the wood that chalice that is single make ye in before. Thus have the gods commanded. Therefore am I come. If, O Sulanvan's children, ye will do this thing, ye shall participate in sacrifice with gods. What to? The envoy, Agne, in reply, ye spake, a courser must be made, a chariot fashioned here, a cow must be created, and the twain made young. When we have done these things, brother, we turn to you. When thus, O Rebus, ye had done, ye questioned thus, whether went he who came to us a messenger. Then Ashtar, when he viewed the four wrought chalices, concealed himself among the consorts of the gods, as Vashtar thus had spoken, let us slay these men who have reviled the chalice, drinking cup of gods. They gave themselves new names when summer juice was shed, and under these new names the maiden welcomed them. Indra hath yoked his maize, ye Aspen's car is horsed. Brahaspate hath brought the cow of every hue. Ye went as Rebus, Theban, Vaja, the gods, and skilled in war, obtained your share in sacrifice. Ye by your wisdom brought a cow from out a hide. Under that ancient care ye gave again their youth. Out of a horse, Sulanvan's sons, ye formed a horse, a chariot ye equipped, and went unto the gods. Drink ye this water, or the words ye spake to them, or drink ye this, the rinsing of the munja grass. If ye approve not even this, Sulana's sons, then at the third libation gladden ye yourselves. Most excellent are waters, thus said one of you. Most excellent is Acne. Thus another said. Another praised to many a one the lightning cloud. Then did he shape the cups, speaking the words of truth. One downward to the water drives the crippled cow. Another trims the flesh, brought on the carving board. One carries off the refuse at the set of sun. How did the parents aid their children in their task? On the high places have ye made the grass for men, and water in the valleys, by your skill, O men. Verbose, ye iterate not today that act of yours. You're sleeping in the house of him whom naught can hide, as compassing them round. He glided through the worlds, where he had venerable parents their abode. Ye laid a curse on him who raised his arm at you. To him who spake aloud to you, ye spake again. When ye had slept your fill, ye were booths thus axed. O thou whom naught may hide, who now hath wakened us, the goat declared the hound to be your wakener. That day, in a full year, ye first unclosed our eyes. The Marutas move in heaven, on earth, this Acne, through the mid-firmament, the wind approaches. Varuna comes in the sea's gathered waters, O sons of strength, desirous of your presence. And presence things and other things can certainly take time, but, start things because you never know what's going to be available in another year, right? And some might look at the goat and say, well, could this have possibly, because the goat being in charge, was this the age of Capricorn? Full ages ago. Hymn 1, 162, the horse, 22 verses. Slight us, not Varuna. Aryaman, or Mitra. Tribukshan, Indra, Ayu, are the Marutas. When we declare, amid the congregation, the virtues of the strong steed, God descended, what time they bear before the courser, covered with trappings and with wealth. the grasped oblation. The dappled goat goeth straight forward, bleating to the place dear to Indra and to Pushan. Dear to all gods, this goat, the share of Pushan, is first led forward with the vigorous courser, while the Vashtar sends him forward with the charger, acceptable for sacrifice to glory. When thrice the men lead round the steed in order, who goeth to gods as meat oblation, the goat precedeth him, the share of Pushan, and to the gods the sacrifice announceth. Invoker, ministering priest, atoner, fire kindler, soma presser, sage reciter, with this well-ordered sacrifice, well finished, do ye fill full the channels of the rivers, the hewers of the post, and those who carry it, and those who carve the knob to deck the horse's stake, those who prepare the cooking vessels for the steed, may the approving help of these promote our work. Forth, for the regions of the gods, the charger with his smooth back is come, my prayer attends him. In him rejoice the singers and the sages. A good friend have we won him. For the gods' banquet, may the fleet coursers halter and his heel ropes, the headstall and the girths and cords about him, and the grass put within his mouth to bait him. Among the gods too, let all these be with thee. What part of the steed's flesh the fly hath eaten, or is left sticking to the post or hatchet, or to the slayer's hands and nails adhereth. Among the gods too, may all this be with thee. Food undigested, steaming from his belly, and any odor of raw flesh remaining. This let the immolators set in order and dress the sacrifice with perfect cooking, what from thy body which with fire is roasted, when thou art set upon the spit distilleth. Let not that lie on earth or grass neglected, but to the longing gods let all be offered. They who, observing that the horse is ready, call out and say, the smell is good, remove it, and craving meat await the distribution. May their approving help promote labor, the trial fork of the flesh-cooking cauldron, the vessels out of which the broth is sprinkled, the warming pots, the covers of the dishes, hooks, carving boards. All these attend the charger, the starting place his place of rest and rolling, the ropes wherewith the charger's feet were fastened, the water that he drank, the food he tasted. Among the gods too, may all these attend thee. Let not the fire, smoke-scented, make thee crackle, nor glowing cauldron smell and break to pieces. Offered, beloved, approved, and consecrated, such charger do the gods accept with favor. The robe they spread upon the horse to clothe him, the upper covering and the golden trappings, the halters which restrain the steed, the heel ropes, all these as grateful to the gods they offer. If one when seated with excessive urging hath with his heel or with his whip distressed thee, all these thy woes as with the oblations ladle at sacrifices, with my prayer I banish. The 34 ribs of the swift charger, kin to the gods, the slayer's hatchet pierces, cut ye with skill, so that the parts be flawless, and piece by piece, declaring them, dissect them. Of Vashtar's charger there is one dissector. This is the custom. 2 there are who guide him. Such of his limbs as I divide in order, these amid the balls and fire I offer. Let not the dear soul burn thee as thou comest. Let not the hatchet linger in thy body. Let not a greedy, clumsy immolator, missing the joints, mangle thy limbs unduly. No, here thou diest not. Thou art not injured. By easy paths unto the gods thou goest. Both bays, both spotted mares are now thy fellows, and to the donkey's pole is yoked the charger. May this steed bring us all sustaining riches, wealth in good kine, good horses, manly offspring, freedom from sin. May Aditya vouchsafe us the steed, with our oblations gain us lordship. And now it's certainly better to eat. the riding animals, even though they may be tough, than to eat swine's flesh or dog, or the meat-eating or blood-drinking bats or cats or rats, bunch of stuff that people eat east and west or eat. I mean, Western European descent people don't eat dogs anymore, but anyways, that's not the point. The point is that we're showing our gratefulness for this opportunity, and there's beings that await our deeds of achievement, of training. So let's not keep them waiting. Hymn 163, The Horse. 13 verses. What time first springing into life thou mayest, proceeding from the sea or upper waters, limbs of the deer hadst thou, and eagle pinions. O steed, thy birth is nigh, and must be lauded. This steed which Yama hath gave, Trita harnessed, and him the first of all hath Indra mounted. His bridle the Gandharva grasped. O Vasus, from out the sun ye fashioned forth the courser. Yama art thou, O horse, thou art Aditya. Trita art thou by secret operation. Thou art divided thoroughly from Soma. They say thou hast 3 bonds in heaven that hold thee, 3 bonds they say thou hast in heaven that bind thee, 3 in the waters, 3 within the ocean. To me thou seemest Varuna, a courser. There, where they say is thy sublimest birthplace, here, courser, are the places where they groomed thee. Here are the traces of thy hoofs as winter. Here have I seen the auspicious rains that guide thee, which those who guard the holy law keep safely. Myself from afar I recognized in spirit, a bird that from below flew through the heaven. I saw thy head, still soaring, striving upward by paths, unsoiled by dust, pleasant to travel. Here I beheld thy form, matchless in glory, eager to win thee food at the cow's station. Whene'er a man brings thee to thine enjoyment, thou swallowest the plants, most greedy eater. After thee, coursers come to the car, the bridegroom, the kind, come after. And the charm of maidens, full companies have followed for thy friendship. The pattern of thy vigor, gods have copied. Horns made of gold hath he, his feet are iron. Less fleet than he, though swift as thought, is Indra. The gods have come that they may taste the oblation of him who mounted first of all the courser, symmetrical in flank, with rounded haunches. Mettled like heroes, the celestial coursers put forth their strength, like swans in lengthened order. When they, the steeds, have reached the heavenly causeway, a body formed for flight hast thou, O charger. Swift as the wind in motion is thy spirit. Thy horns are spread abroad in all directions. They move with restless beat in wildernesses. The strong steed hath come forward to the slaughter, pondering with a mind directed Godward. The goat who is his kin is led before him. The sages and the singers follow after. The steed is come unto the noblest mansion, is come unto his father and his mother. This day shall he approach the gods. Most welcome then he declares good gifts to him who offers. And we can think of different qualities and different entities regarding different aspects of our work or the means of our true work. Hymn 164, Visvedevas, 52 verses. Of this benignant priest, with eld gray colored, the brother midmost of the 3 is lightning. The 3rd is he whose back with oil is sprinkled. Here I behold the chief with 7 male children. 7 to the one-wheeled chariot yoke the courser, bearing 7 names, the single courser draws it. 3-naved the wheel is, sound and undecaying, whereon are resting all these worlds of being, the 7 on who on the 7-wheeled car are mounted have horses, 7 in tail who draw them onward. 7 sisters utter songs of praise together, in whom the names of the 7 cows are treasured. Who hath beheld him as he sprang to being, seen how the boneless one supports the bony? Where is the blood of earth, the life, the spirit? Who may approach the man who knows to ask it? Unripe in mind, in spirit undiscerning, I ask of these, the gods' established places, for up above the yearling calf, the sages to form a web their own 7 threads have woven. I ask, unknowing, those who know, the sages as one all ignorant for the sake of knowledge. What was that one who in the unborn's image hath established and fixed firm these worlds, 6 regions? Let him who knoweth precisely presently declare it. This lovely bird's securely founded station. Forth from his head the cows draw milk, and wearing his vesture with their foot, have drunk the water. The mother gave the sire his share of order. With thought at first she wedded him in spirit. She, the coy dame, was filled with dew prolific, with adoration. Men approached to praise her. Yoked was the mother to the boon cow's carpole, and in the dank rose of cloud the infant rested. Then the calf lowed and looked upon the mother, the cow who wears all shapes in 3 directions, bearing 3 mothers and 3 fathers. Single he stood erect. They never make him weary. There on the pitch of heaven they speak together, in speech all knowing, but not all impelling. Formed with 12 spokes, by length of time unweakened, rolls round the heaven this wheel of during order. Herein established, joined in pairs together, 700 suns and 20 stand, O Acna. They call him in the farther half of heaven, the sire 5-footed of 12 forms, wealthy in watery store. These others say that he, God with far-seeing eyes, is mounted on the lower 7-wheeled, 6-spoked car. Upon this 5-spoked wheel, revolving ever, all living creatures rest and are dependent. Its axle, heavy laden, is not heated. The nave from ancient time remains unbroken. The wheel revolves unwasting with its felly. 10 draws it yoked to the far stretching carpole. The sun's eye moves encompassed by the region. On him dependent rest all living creatures of the co-born they call the 7th single-born. These 6 twin pairs are called Vreshis, children of gods. Their good gifts sought of men are arranged in order due, and various in their form move for the Lord who guides. They told me these were males, though truly females. He who hath eyes sees this, the blind discerns not. The son who is a sage hath comprehended. Who knows this rightly is his father's father. Beneath the upper realm, about this lower, bearing her calf at foot, the cow hath risen. Whitherward to what place hath she departed? Where calves she, not amid this herd of cattle. Who that, the father of this calf, discerneth beneath the upper realm, above the lower, showing himself a sage, may here declare it. Whence hath the godlike spirit had its rising? Those that come hitherward they call departing. Those that depart they call directed hither. And what so ye have made Indra and Soma, steeds bare as 'twere yoked to the region's carpole, 2 birds with fair wings knit with bonds of friendship, in the same sheltering tree, have found a refuge. One of the twain eats the sweet fig tree's fruitage, the other eating not regardeth only, where those fine birds hymn ceaselessly their portion of life eternal. and the sacred synods. There is the universe's mighty keeper, who wise hath endured into me the simple. The tree whereon the fine birds eat the sweetness, where they all rest and procreate their offspring. Upon its top they say the fig is luscious. None gangeth it, to who knoweth not the Father. How on the Gayatri was based. How far from Trishtub they fashioned the Trishtub forth. How on the Jagati was based the Jagati. They who know this have won themselves. Immortal life. With the Gayatri he measures out the praise song. Saman with praise song. Triplet with the Trishtub. The triplet with the 2 or 4 foot measure. And with the syllable they form 7 meters. With Jagati, the flood in heaven he established, and saw the sun in Rathantara Saman. Gayatri hath, they say, 3 brands for kindling. Hence it excels in majesty and vigor. I invocate the milch cow, good for milking, so that the milker, deft of hand, may drain her, may Sevatar give goodliest stimulation. The cauldron is made hot, I will proclaim it. She, lady of all treasure, is come hither, yearning in spirit for her calf and lowing. May this cow yield her milk for both the Asvins, and may she prosper to our high advantage. The cow hath lowed after her blinking youngling. She licks his forehead as she lows to form it. His mouth she fondly calls to her warm udder, and suckles him with milk while gently lowing. He also snorts, by whom encompassed round the cow laws as she clings under the shedder of the ring. She with her shrilling cries hath humbled mortal man, and turned to lightning, hath stripped off her covering robe. That which hath breath and speed of life and motion lies firmly established in the midst of houses. Living by offerings to the dead, he moveth immortal one, the brother of the mortal. I saw the herdsman him, who never stumbles, approaching by his pathways and departing. He clothed with gathered and diffused splendor, within the worlds continually travels. He who hath made him cloth, not comprehended him. From him who saw him, surely is he hidden. He is enveloped in his mother's bosom, source of much life, hath sunk into destruction. Dyaus is my father, my begetter, kinship is here. This great earth is my kin and mother. Between the widespread world halves is the birthplace. The father laid the daughter's germ within it. I ask thee of the earth's extremest limit, where is the center of the world. I ask thee. I ask thee of the stallion's seed prolific. I ask of highest heaven, where speech abideth. This altar is the earth's extremest limit. This sacrifice of ours is the world's center. The stallion's seed prolific is the Soma. This Brahman highest heaven, where speech abideth. 7 germs unripened, yet are heaven's prolific seed. Their functions they maintain by Vishnu's ordinance, endued with wisdom through intelligence and thought. They compass us about, present on every side. What thing I truly am, I know not clearly. Mysterious, fettered in my mind, I wonder. When the firstborn of the holy law approached me, then of this speech I first obtain a portion. Back forward goes he, grasped by strength inherent, the immortal born, the brother of the mortal. Ceaseless, they move in opposite directions. Men mark the one and fail to mark the other. Upon what syllable of holy praise song, as 'twere their highest heaven, the gods repose them. Who knows not this? What will he do with praise song? But they who know it well sit here assembled. Fortunate mayest thou be with goodly pasture, and may we also be exceeding wealthy. Feed on the grass, O cows, at every season, and coming hitherward, drink limpid water. Forming the water floods, the buffalo hath lowed. 1-footed, or 2-footed, or 4-footed, she who hath become 8-footed, or hath got 9 feet, 1,000-syllabled in the sublimest heaven. From her descend in streams the seas of water. Thereby the world's 4 regions have their being. Thence flows the imperishable flood, and thence the universe hath life. I saw from far away the smoke of fuel with spires that rose on high, or that beneath it. The mighty men have dressed the spotted bullock. These were the customs in the days aforetime. 3 with long tresses show in ordered season. One of them sheareth when the year is ended. One with his powers the universe regardeth. One of the sweep is seen, but his figure. Speech hath been measured out in 4 divisions. The Brahmins, who have understanding, know them. 3 kept in close concealment cause no motion of speech. Men speak only the 4th division. They call him Indra, Mitra, Varuna, Agni, and he is heavenly, nobly winged, Garutman. 2. What is one? Sages give many a title. They call Agni, Yama, Mataristhan, dark, the descended. The birds are golden colored. Up to the heaven they fly, robed in the waters. Again descend they from the seat of order. Now all the earth is moistened with their fatness. 12 are the fellies, and the wheel is single. 3 are the naves. What man hath understood it? Therein are set together spokes, 360, which in no wise can be loosened. That breast of thine, exhaustless, spring of pleasure, wherewith thou feedest all things that are choicest, wealth giver, treasure, finder, free bestower, bring that, Sarasvati, that we may drain it. By means of sacrifice, the gods accomplished their sacrifice. These were the earliest ordinances. These mighty ones attain the height of heaven, there where the Savyas, gods of old, are dwelling. Uniform with the passing days, this water mounts and fails again. The tempest clouds give life to earth, and fires reanimate the heaven. The bird celestial, vast with noble pinion, the lovely germ of plants, the germ of waters, him who delighteth us with rain in season. Sarasvat, I invoke that he may help us. And, of course, I'm reading these hymns. I'm not meaning that I'm praying to each of these entities, but I'm not sure where to place this as a comparison to something, Okay, you got these 3 that train and all these different orders and stuff you're supposed to do. So it comes off as one of these spiritual seeking stories of the Sufis, but as the origin and celestial order sort of stories. It comes off in some respects like some sort of Grail myth.